Hello, and welcome to another episode of Yeah Sure with your host, me, Kiki. I hope you guys have had a beautiful day, a beautiful week, a beautiful weekend, hopefully a beautiful year so far, because I just had the most beautiful day. It was the first 65-degree day in God knows how long. And for those of us on the Northeast, we've been dealing with just the craziest winter, and so we all deserve to be outside today. And so I did. I walked 8 miles, 8 whole miles, and my toes hurt. So now that I got that vitamin D in me, and don't be gross about it, I got my eye on you, Jason. Yeah, I know. So now that I got that sweet, sweet sunlight on me, and I'm just, I'm like a little flower right now. I'm like blooming right now. I figured while I have this energy and while it's still 65 degrees out, we might as well read some stories, right? I'm in a good mood. Hopefully, you're in a good mood. If you're not in a good mood, maybe you'll be in a good mood. And then we could all just maximize joy just for a little bit, amidst the horrors. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, let's get into this first story. This is from Two Hot Takes. It was posted 2 days ago. My dad is cheating and his partner has a very gross habit. How do I bring it up to him without screwing myself over? Honey, you're not going to screw yourself over. Your dad's already screwed. That's my advice right there. Right then and there. Don't worry about it. But whatever, maybe there's more nuance because there's always more nuance, right? Okay. I'm 22F. My father, 52 male, is a chronic cheater. He cheated on my mother, is now cheating on my stepmother. For some context, my stepmother is completely unaware that my father is cheating on her. They have a 7-year-old son together. She lives in another country for 9 months out of the year and only comes over during the summer. My dad visits their country every 2 to 3 months for about 3 weeks. When she's there and when I've gone to travel over there, they're very lovey-dovey. I've seen their messages together. They're very much maintaining a relationship. Some people have tried to argue with me that she does know, but I promise you she does not know. He's currently cheating with his coworker. I just finished college and working in my field, and I'm saving up to move out by December. For the past 2 years, he's been bringing up his coworker, and we just do not talk about it. He refers to his coworker as his quote-unquote friend, but it's so obvious that they're fucking. I hear them. One thing she does is that she leaves feminine wipes everywhere post-sex. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, there are feminine wipes in the toilet or on the floor because she missed the trash bin. My dad accuses me of leaving them. I don't use those wipes or have any wipes. Those wipes come from his room because they leave the box out when I've gone into his room to grab ibuprofen or a pair of socks, lol. She's also sort of rude to me. Nothing crazy. We have a pleasant enough relationship, but when I get home late from work and I see her car in the driveway, I groan. It's shitty to say, but I don't care about him cheating. It's his life. We also have a super secure relationship, and I know for a fact that he will blow up if I try to address it or will limit my ability to do things. In my culture, there's a lot of emphasis on the father being the head of the household, and if you're under his roof, you follow his rules. He's allowing me to live there rent free, and he paid for a big chunk of my college, so I don't mind any of his particular rules right now. But I do have a quote unquote curfew, and there has been a few times where we've gotten into an argument, and for a few weeks, I'm expected to come home earlier on risk of being kicked out. There are a few other things he does that make my life really difficult when we get upset at each other, but I'd rather not get into it. Anyway, the feminine wipe issue really pisses me off. It really grosses me out. I struggle a lot with OCD, especially contamination OCD, and my dad knows this. We only have one bathroom in this house. This is a conversation we have to have. Even if it didn't send me spiraling a little extra, I still think it's really fucking gross. Should I just talk to her? She's cheating on her husband too, so I'm not really sympathetic, but I'm scared she'll tell my dad that I talked to her in one way or another and I'll get the brunt of it. How should I start that combo? Help, please. Ew. Big, 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 big ew. No. Okay, well That's unfortunate that your dad is cheating. And I know you say you don't care, but it does put a little mental toll on you. Uh, and I know it's not your mom. So I guess there's like a little less risk in the game here. But I don't think you're going to be screwing yourself over. Like, just talk to her. If he thinks that it's you and you know that it's not you, maybe just talk to her. Just be like, hey, I know you stay over a lot and whatever, that's fine. You don't even have to bring up the cheating. You don't have to bring up that she's cheating on her husband or that your dad is cheating on his wife. You don't have to do any of that. All you have to say is, hey, would you mind just putting your feminine wipes like in the trash bin? I don't want to be walking over landmines with your cooch juice on it. That's disgusting. You don't have to say that it's disgusting. We all know it is. But, bleh, no. Hard no. But let's look at the top comments. Buy a really big trash bin for the bathroom and mention to your dad that the new bin should help his friend throw her wipes out properly. But seriously, moving out seems like the best option. Moving out is the best option, for sure. Especially because him having like a say on like your curfew and stuff, it seems like you're over the age of 20 something. And sorry, a little burp. Probably gonna burp every episode. Who knows? I'm assuming you're like in your early 20s. So having a curfew is like not really that cool, but I get it. Like if you're living with your parents, like I don't know what culture you're part of. But I don't have like a super like I mean, I guess I have a cultural family, but like they would expect me to be home at a certain time, like before like oh god, it's been so long. Probably like before like 2 o'clock. But I don't know what your curfew looks like. Uh yeah, I think just try to move as fast as possible because even yeah, like I said before, even if you say that you don't care that they're like doing the whole cheating fiasco, it's still not good to see. It's not good to feel that way. It's not good to have to lie to your stepmom, especially since they're all like lovey-dovey. And honestly, she probably does know. She probably knows in like the back of her head. It's like some like guma situation, like, like Tony Soprano and all of his gumas, whatever. Well, OP, that sucks. I hope you figure it out. I'm gonna see if she like maybe made some other posts, but it doesn't look like she has. So, sorry, OP. I hope you get out of there soon. I hope you get out of there uh sooner than December. All right. We've got story number 2. This is from Am I the Asshole? It is from 3 days ago. I love getting like all these like new ones, but also with the new ones, you don't get like the updates quite as often or as quickly as I would like. And then we're just like left like, so what? And then I know myself, I know I'm not going to go back to these stories. I just know I'm not. It's not going to happen. And I'm not going to find the update unless it's like blatantly in my face. So I'm sorry for that, guys. I can't put that much work into it. I wish I could. If this were like my full-time job, then sure, but it just ain't. Who wants a full-time job anyway? All right. Now, back to it. Am I the asshole 3 days ago? And the title is Am I the asshole for disregarding my mother-in-law's toilet trauma? Okay, toilet trauma. I hope it's the only way I would have toilet trauma is if there was like a snake in the toilet or a spider in the toilet and I just like sat and it was in there. That would be scary. That would be a scary time. But I like spiders and I like snakes. So I just don't want it near my bits. Okay, anyway. I, 20 male, and my boyfriend, 21 male, have been dating for a year and 6 months, and a couple weeks ago he introduced me to his family. Okay, that's not your mother-in-law, baby. That's your boyfriend's mom. Just so you know. I'm taking away some of the severity. For a little background context, my boyfriend has a little habit of leaving the door a little open when he goes to the bathroom, which has never bothered me since we're dating and comfortable with each other. Now for the story. We had his parents, mom, sister, and dad come over to our shared apartment for dinner. I noticed my BF's mom, 46, was using the bathroom. She had it wide open. I don't mean like an inch or two, just full open, you can see right in. Extra info, I have a dog, and my dog literally just walked right in with her, which made me extremely uncomfortable. So I called my dog back and closed my eyes, shutting the door, thinking she just really had to go and didn't have time to shut the door. We all have those moments, right? Wrong. His sister, 18 female, went on to do the same thing. And after they left, I asked my boyfriend why they all do that, to which he asked, is just normal? I'm sorry, what? I told him that they're not allowed to do that when I'm around and that it makes me uncomfortable and I don't want my dog walking in. He then relayed the message to them and they reacted with a thumbs up emoji. Now today, they were over again and the same thing happened. I gently reminded her, BF's mom, that I was not comfortable and that this is my home and she needs to respect boundaries. I was returned with screaming, like the loudest and annoying scream I've ever heard from a grown woman throwing a tantrum. It got out of hand, they left, and now she's calling me a jerk because she has trauma, which is her being afraid of tight spaces. Her bathroom isn't that small either. Am I the asshole? Boyfriend says to just drop it and that's just how they were raised and that I don't complain when he does it. Told him it's different when it's something I don't mind seeing versus my boyfriend's almost 50-year-old mom. Edit, I don't know if there are any dog lovers here, but I did post the cutie because I love showing her off. Well, I don't see the picture of the dog. But, bleh! Okay. No. Sorry. So, what about public bathroom stalls? Do you just leave them wide open? Because that's crazy. Because let me tell you, a bathroom stall, like in public, is the tightest space ever. So she just not pee in public? That's crazy. Yeah, no, that's fucking weirdo behavior. That is a red flag, unfortunately. And I mean, like, obviously, your boyfriend's family is not your boyfriend, but it seems like he's picked up some of these habits. And I'm sure there's going to be more habits down the line that you're going to realize, oh shit, like that's not good. Hopefully it's not as bad as like keeping the door wide open. Maybe it's something super minor like leaving socks on the floor because he has foot trauma. I don't know. But anyway, the top comment says, first, claustrophobia is not trauma in and of itself. It's just a fear of small places. This can happen without having any relevant trauma. Now, my question is, does she do this in public as well? I mean, I'm most definitely saying something if I walk into a public restroom and there's a full-grown woman with a toilet door open. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That is a perfect point, and I really, really hope that OP brings this up because it's just weird. It's just weird. And also, like, okay, the one thing I'll say that you're getting like a little out of hand is, first off, I don't think you're the asshole, point blank. But one of the things is, like, having the dog in there with her is not that big of a deal. Like, your dog licks his own peeps. So, you know, I don't think that's a big issue. I have a little funny anecdote. So, I have 3 cats. 2 of them are girls, one of them's a boy. And usually the girls, like, love to, like, barge into the bathroom with me. And last week, one of the boys came in and I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, no, no boys allowed. You don't get to watch me pee. The girls, sure. But the boy, he's also a little freak. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I don't think you're the asshole, but I think this is probably going to lead to other weird things. Oh, wait, no, I found the dog in question. This is the dog. It's a pretty cute dog. Oh my god, there's so many responses. Okay, so to that first top comment, OP responds and says, I didn't even think of this. Maybe she feels comfortable doing it here, but oh my god, if I ever saw that in public, yuck. And then they respond, OP, you also marry the family. Sounds like they won't budge on this. This will be your life with them. What else are they crazy about and unwilling to compromise on? I would have strong reservations about marrying into this family. And then OP responds, I honestly think there could be getting around this, but I need a full apology from my boyfriend and his mom because other than this, my boyfriend's actually really sweet all the time. Okay, we love a sweet boyfriend. That's really nice. I'm not gonna get into all the other comments that OP did. Well, OP, I hope you don't have to walk in on a bunch of weird little bathroom things. Because what if they're pooping? What if they are pooping? You're gonna walk in on them mid wipe? That's uncomfortable. Why do they want you to see that? I don't know. People are weird, man. That's why I love these Reddit stories because they just be doing the most. Okay. So, this one is a two-parter because I found the second part on the Two Hot Takes subreddit. And I was like, wait. I'm like, I can't read the second part without reading the first part. And this one is gross. Also gross. So I guess the theme of the day is gross. And fluids and bathrooms and things that you should be doing in a bathroom, but don't. So this story is from Two Hot Takes, 34 days ago, and the subject line is, he peed in my mouth? Gross. Okay, guys, I'm like freaking out. I have a fairly new boyfriend. We've been together for about 3 months. I'm 20 female and he's 19 male. We have not done anything too intimate yet, but we're very comfortable together. I have endometriosis that makes sex painful, and until I get a surgery soon, we have decided to wait on having sex. For a bit of background, I have no lack of experience with penises. Perhaps not many, but I was in a prior relationship for 3 years and had regular sex. I also am very passionate about my sex ed and thus had a good understanding of male and female reproductive anatomy, or at least I thought I did. So here's where things have gotten weird. Yesterday, things were getting pretty hot and heavy between my boyfriend and I, and he very kindly asked if I would sit on his face. And of course, I was happy to return the favor. So we're going at it, good old 69, and he alerts me that he's about to finish. I keep on keeping on, eager to please, but something goes very wrong, and it takes me a moment of tasting piss and then swallowing it before realizing that he had peed instead of ejaculated, and he pissed everywhere, all over the bed, all over me, in my mouth, in my hair. It was no small amount of piss. And let me tell you, he was not hydrated enough, and I do not have a piss kink. He seemed confused but apologized, and we haven't spoken about it since. He went home and I changed my sheets. This was our second time ever going past a good dry hump / makeout session. I'm so confused. I was under the impression that men could not easily pee while hard, and I know he was hard and very turned on. Did he do it on purpose? That's like a huge red flag for me, and he's aware of that. I had an abusive ex who would quite literally pee on me when he was angry, and I'm fairly traumatized. I adore my boyfriend, and he's never done anything but support me and love me. We've been friends for a while too, and everything has just seemed so easy and natural. I just need some opinions on what actually happened. I plan on talking to him too, but right now I'm a little freaked out and honestly scared, since I suddenly feel like I'm with somebody who pissed in my mouth without my consent. Is it possible it was an accident? Help, please. Oh my god. No. No, 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 no. Especially if he knows that you're traumatized by piss. No. Fuck no. Nope, 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 nope. Leave that man. Especially if this is like the first time that like you guys have like gotten past like a good dry hump. No. I would dump this man over this. I truly would. I am so sorry, OP. I know he seems lovely and like he's a friend, and maybe you guys can just like go back to being friends. No fucking way. And I know that there's a part 2 to this, so we're gonna get the updates. But let's look at the top comment. Many moons ago, but I too have unfortunately done this. If he wasn't super embarrassed and apologetic then, he did it on purpose. I remember the feeling too. By the time I realized I was peeing, it was too late. Okay, I mean, I guess I don't have like male anatomy, but I don't know. I've never experienced that with a man. That's weird. Ugh, I don't want to. I don't want to piss shame if you can't help it. Maybe that's why he's been so okay with like not having sex. Yeah. One of the comments is just a picture of R. Kelly. Oh, OP, I'm so sorry. That's awful. That's a really awful comment, but it's actually really funny. Somebody else said, I'm sorry this happened to you. As a dude, I can pee without much trouble with whether I'm turned on or not. I've always been a bit confused that you supposedly shouldn't really be able to. Either way, talk to him about it. His response will tell you a lot about who he is as a person. Yeah, I agree. Let's see where this ended up because I am so curious. Okay. So yeah, posted to Two Hot Takes from 7 days ago. So it's like a good month afterwards. He peed in my mouth. Update. It's been a couple weeks, but I'm back with an update. Remember me? My 19-year-old boyfriend peed in my 20 female mouth as I was giving him a blowjob? Yummy, except not. I took and thoughtfully considered all your guys' advice. I also talked with my therapist about it. Good for you, baby. Good for you. I decided to talk to him about it since I needed to know if it was on purpose, and I was honestly curious as to why it happened regardless of intent or lack thereof. So, about a week after the unfortunate pee in the mouth incident, I randomly blurted out that I couldn't stop thinking about it. We had previously been yapping about something dumb, but his demeanor instantly changed. I knew that I had to get it all out immediately, ending with the question, was it on purpose? He was extremely sorry and quickly explained that it was not on purpose at all. He clearly felt guilty and embarrassed, claiming that as his reason for not bringing it up himself or apologizing. His explanation felt genuine to me, and at this point, I'm pretty damn sure he's got something wrong going on down there. He told me that while this has never happened before, he's gotten the sensation that he needs to pee during BJ's, but is usually able to hold it in. Also, I had noticed that his bladder control sucks, along with a consistently strong pee smell in his underwear, to the point where when we cuddle and he doesn't have pants on, I start smelling like it too. I dropped the subject completely at that. Something else has started to come up between us that feels like much more significant issue. Initially, it started out with a situation where he was hurting with me with a specific move while we dance. We dance together 3 times a week and we both have years of experience. And every single time I told him some variation of ouch, that hurts, and can we not do this move? So over months of this, he never once acknowledged it. Eventually, I sat down and asked him if we could do the move differently or try something else. And he would always say, it's not actually hurting you, or other girls don't complain, so you're just doing it wrong. As it turns out, one of our friends pulled him aside and told him that he was doing it wrong, but he had to hear it from them, and he has still yet to acknowledge that it was actually hurting me. And that is only one thing. Lots of situations where he wouldn't listen to me kept coming up, and the resentment has been building. Along with all that, he's not particularly financially or emotionally mature, and I've quickly taken on a sort of mothering role in our relationship. I hate it. I can't take care of a grown man. Also, his hygiene sucks, and my sheets tend to reek after he sleeps over. Keep in mind, I have a criminal court case going on right now with an ex who tried to kill me multiple times. I'm exhausted, traumatized, and struggling to keep myself alive. I don't have the energy to tell a man to shower, wash his hands, change his underwear. I don't have the energy to budget for him, to apply to scholarships for him, to teach him how to use a laptop. I don't know why he needs me to, because he literally plays video games all the time. I don't have the energy to be his therapist, to teach him how to handle his emotions, to constantly reassure him that he isn't such a bad boyfriend. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but things aren't looking too peachy for us. And the cherry on top, he just had a girl over a couple nights ago, but not a random girl, the girl he had a situationship with before we started dating. We had been friends for a while and he adored this woman. I would give him dating advice about her. She's beautiful and kind, and I actually really like her, and I also know he has had feelings for her for years prior to me. And once we started dating, he stopped hanging out with her, so he hasn't seen her in months. I can't imagine why he would bring her to his house for any other reason other than to, well, I'm sure y'all can guess. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep my tone upbeat, but I'm actually very upset about this. Like before, always open to advice since I really don't know how to handle all of this. Thank you for all your kind words and advice. I wish I could say peeing in my mouth was the worst thing that's ever happened to me, but unfortunately far from. Thanks again. Oh, girl, you need to be alone. You need to be alone. Yeah, you need to be alone. Especially with like this court situation with your ex who tried to kill you. Not kill you. That's awful. And he pissed on you. And it seems like the guy that you're dating right now is just a little man baby. The only way that you'd be able to stay with this man was if he like was a real person and like bathed and didn't smell like piss. Baby, he smells like piss. That should be enough. That should be enough. Uh because aside from you having to do everything for him, you don't want to have to change his fucking diaper now too. Come on. Come on, baby. I know you're obviously smart and you're already like considering leaving him. But yeah, I think it's time for some real you time. You don't need this. And as for the girl that he had over, she's going to quickly realize that he's a little piss boy. He's going to realize so quick. And listen, if you're OP's boyfriend and you're watching this, and I know that you are, I'm not trying to be mean, but maybe get your piss under control and don't invite girls over that aren't your girlfriend. And maybe learn how to use a computer. Maybe you won't watch this because you don't know how to use a computer. Wow. Okay, well, let's go to the top comment. I kept waiting to get to the part where you broke up with him, but it never came. Girl, what are you doing? And then OP responds with a fuck ton of downvotes. Girl, don't downvote this girl. Everyone keeps telling me how perfect he is. I'm just trying to make sense of how I'm feeling about it. I care for him, but I'm losing attraction at this point. You better be losing attraction. He smells like piss. That's wild. All right, let's see. Another top comment. So he's your ex-boyfriend now, right? Not yet. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, girl, you gotta go. You gotta go. I don't know why you're still wondering. I'm gonna go to OP's profile and see if maybe she posted anything anywhere else. But I don't. No other comments, no other posts. If I remember to save it, if I see it, I'll give you guys an update. Because you know what? Maybe a full-time job doing this would be cool. Well, that's it. That's all I got for you today. And please, for the love of God, practice good hygiene, okay? We're practicing good hygiene today. We're going to shower. We're going to get our pits. We're going to brush our teeth. We're even going to floss, okay? I went to the dentist last week. She said I had really great teeth. And you know why? Because I floss. It's true. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the next episode of Yeah Sure Reddit Reads with your host, Kiki. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Stay healthy.